Hello my friends, my name is Lindsay and I run the blog Books for Christian Girls. Welcome to or welcome back to the little corner of the internet where I share mainly about Christian fiction. I'm using a different lens and I love how it's doing the background, but I feel so close to the camera, so hopefully it's not me yelling at y'all. But it is June 1st and June is my birthday month. Like, fun fact right there you go. So I kind of thought it'd be fun to do maybe a couple vlogs during this month. I've actually even set up a loose June TBR. I can't talk today. This is what happens when I study Korean and then I go try to talk English. It doesn't work well. What was I saying? I have attempted to put together a TBR. I think it's a very might be a little much, but I want to try. I've been reading quite a bit lately for different reasons. So I have a loose TBR. Why can't I say loose TBR? There we go. So yeah, we're just gonna maybe do something for the month. Maybe a couple reading vlogs, kind of just vlogs. I have no specific plans for my birthday. I like to just keep it chill and celebrate all month long here and there, you know, that kind of fun thing. But yeah, I'll be turning 24 on the 22nd. Eek. But yeah, that's that. So I'm starting this a little early, being the 1st of June, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to just add in little clips here and there, different things. I currently have a beagle sleeping down there, but I don't think y'all can see her based on this angle in the lens. Sorry. I love how this lens is giving that creamy background though. That's really nice. I just feel really close. I'm using my pancake lens for anyone who is curious. My 24mm from Canon. Okay, my TBR for this month. This is a pretty good TBR if I say so myself. So the first thing, I'm actually going to start reading it, but I thought I ought to say hi to y'all first, is the 100-Day Devotional for Girls, and that's by Jean Fisher, and it's a devotional for 100 days for... Who's messaging me? And it's for 100 days, and it's for girls ages 8 to 12. I have pretty high hopes. It's from Barbar. I do not know how to say that publisher's name. I feel so bad. I've worked with them for so long, and I still don't know how to say it. I just need to call them randomly one day and just listen how they say, like, hello, this is publisher name. I should do that. I should do that, but I'm looking forward to that one. I also have a few other books that are releasing this month that I have to like read and review. So it's actually going to be a lot of ebooks, so I don't know how entertaining this video will be, or these reading vlogs. I assume I'm going to talk too much for it to be a single reading vlog, so maybe one or two. It'd be kind of fun to do it weekly, you know? I don't know yet. We'll see. That's editing Lindsay's job to figure all that out. But, so other review books, I have Countershade by Keely Rose Waller. This book has been on my docket to review for too many months, and I feel so bad about that, so I definitely want to try to read that one this month. I'm trying to remember what it's about. I re-looked it up. It's kind of a new adult, young adult, different thing, and it sounds like it's got action and whatnot. I read another book by this author, The Senator's Youngest Daughter, and that was a really interesting book. That was interesting. I remember it had a lot of like political, not like actual politics, but like political world stuff, which was fascinating to read about. It's a rebellion plot. That one was a rebellion plot. I don't think this one is, but I'm kind of just going into that one more blind. I had already accepted it for review months ago, so finally getting with that. The next book is a book releasing on June 6th, and that's With Every Memory. This cover is really pretty, and it's by... I'm not sure how to pronounce the author's name, so I'm a little scared to do that. It sounds like it has like kind of that amnesia trope where a tragic accident takes away, so you have that partial amnesia kind of thing. That's all I really know. I've never read this author before. Is this her debut book? No. Okay, no, she's written other things. It's published by Revell. I'm not sure if there's going to be faith content. I hope so. This is kind of like my one really wild card, I guess you could say. All the other ones I have pretty high hopes for, so we'll see about that one. Then we have Fairest of Heart by Karen Whitemeyer. That is also releasing on the 6th, and that is a Texas historical western retelling of Snow White. I am super duper excited for that one. That's one of my anticipated books for 2023, so I'm super excited about that. And then The Lies We Believe by Lisa Harris is releasing on the 28th, And that one, I feel like that one's gonna be creepy, and like it has to do with like abductions and everything. It's a suspense book, so I'm a little like, I'm leery on this one, but I'm gonna read it because it's Lisa Harris and I typically like her stuff, but I'm a little like concerned on that. Then let's see, oh, Wedding at Sea by Melissa Tagg is releasing the 29th. This is the third and final book in the, I can't pronounce it, Miramar Harbor series. Super duper excited about that one. I haven't pre-ordered it yet because I believe it'll be on KU, but I'm going to think about pre-ordering it because I'm really excited for that one. I like the first two books, and this is kind of, it's the last book, so everything's wrapping up the mystery that's been like throughout the last prior books. I'm excited. The other book I do have a physical copy of though. I was also sent to review The King's Feathers by Amy Earls, and this is book 1 in a series. I'm very curious about this one. I don't know, it just sounds really fun. I read a little bit about it, but I don't know everything about it. The author was sweet and sent an email about potentially reviewing it, and I'm excited. I'm excited. There's a lot of Hebrew words, it looks like, in it. First person, her mom disappeared. And then there's a prophecy that says she'll disappear as well. And then there's a bodyguard that's criminally cute. I'm sold kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out. And then, let's see, I had one more book. Oh, this one is going to be probably the best one for my June TBR. And that's Every Dog Has His Day by Janice Thompson. That releases July 1st. So I have to save it for the end of the month because I try to review them around the release date. That's always the goal. So I try to read them just a little before the release day, and you know, get all the excitement for the release day and that kind of thing. I'm super excited for that book. I am so tired, but I promise you I am super excited for that book. It is the last book, I believe. Pretty sure is it 6? I have it pre-ordered, so it actually should be coming this month as well. Such a cute cover. Oh, no, this one's 5. That's right. Okay, I have one more. Okay, we have one more after this. I'm so excited about this one. It's about our groomer that we've seen at this vet clinic in the prior books. So excited about that one. So those are like my review books. Those are like ones that need to get read this month in June. I always have a good list of those. So that's, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 books. Not bad. That's almost the entirety of, that's basically the entire month of June's reviews right there. So that's a really good gauge. And then I also would like to reread something for my birthday. Here's the thing, with June I want to only read good books. Now yes, I do have a couple wild cards, but I only want to read good books because I don't want to give a 1-star book or DNF a book in my birthday month. I just don't want to do that. That just sounds terrible. So I don't want to do that, so I'm basically just picking books that I really feel interested in, that I really want to read. And then also for my birthday, like my birthday's on a Thursday, and I just want to like stay home and chill and potentially read. So I'm either going to read Janice Thompson's Bride with Style trilogy, a reread of that, or if I'm in the mood for historical, I will reread the Edwardian Bride series by Carrie Transky, which is like The Governess of Highland Hall, oh man, I can't think of the title, The Daughter of Highland Hall, oh, A Refuge at Highland Hall. So those are like my last 2 trilogies I really want to reread this year. I already reread one at the beginning of the year, the Paige Adler series by Anna Mangum. Y'all have heard me talk about those. So I want to reread one of those other ones for my birthday. And then I also would like to reread Victoria Grace, The Jerkface by S.E. Clancy, because I've had this one on my reread TBR for way too long. I'd like to finally reread it, and if I still really like it, I'd like to put it on my bookshelf. So that would be nice. And then maybe one more off of, you can't see them, but maybe off of that shelf. I have no idea what though. I have a couple potentials off of there, and basically that's like maybe 20 books, less than that, alright? 20, okay, it's 24 books. It's 24 books. I have 24 books that like I've been meaning to reread. I've pulled them off my shelves to see, do I still really enjoy them enough to keep them and put them back on my rainbow shelves. And because my TBR is going insane, my physical TBR is like double stacked. I've never double stacked my books before. This is just driving me batty. So I really need to start working on these books and my physical TBR books so I can like scooch and have that extra shelf for my physical TBR because I'm going crazy. So I mean, I do have a couple other potentials. Waking Beauty by Sarah E. Morin. This was the very first Enclave book I read years ago, and I paid full price for it too at Lifeway. Wow, the pages are turning yellow. Wow, that's weird. When was this? 2015. Oh. But still, why are you turning yellow? Like, the edges are turning yellow. That is so weird. And it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I remember liking it, but also finding that there was a lot of fight stuff and bugs and things like that. So, I don't know. And it's a chunker, so it might not get read this month, but it's a potential. Another one, depending on what I'm in the mood for. And here's the thing. My TBRs, I never share them because I'm such a mood reader. And, like, I've got my set review books. So, like, the ones I listed off first for this TBR. But then I play around and I find other things. And I go, ooh, shiny new toy. Let me go read this book. And it's basically just whatever I feel like reading. I like doing that, so I'm not very good with TBR, so we'll see how I do in this month. I think this is like really broad enough though that I'm going to cover quite a bit. Another potential though would be Rise and Shine by Sandra D. Bricker. This was it a Sleeping Beauty, but it was contemporary. She wakes up after 10 years to find nothing in her previous life is the same. I remember enjoying this. I think it was a duology. I don't own the other book though anymore, so I don't know what I did. I don't know, this could just be like a start and then maybe it's like, yeah, no, it's not my thing anymore, and that's okay. So we've got those three potentials. And then books I want to read that I think I will enjoy. I own one of them, but they're in the stack of big books, so ignore that. Journey's End by Renee Ryan. I actually will be hauling this in a book haul that y'all have not seen yet. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm throwing this video in, so my schedule is now a mess, but that's fine. And it's a Gilded Age historical novel that I've heard nobody talking about. I bought the whole trilogy for dirt cheap, so I would like to attempt and try it because I love that time period. Also, The Healer of the Brigade, I think is how you pronounce that, by Michaela Bush. The first book was The Lady of Lenara. I can't pronounce things to save my life, y'all. And oops. But that was a Rapunzel retelling, and this is in that same world but about different characters. And I actually already bought it. Was on sale for like 99 cents on release day, so I bought it. So really excited about that one. And then I kind of have been thinking about reading Southpaw by Tabby R.H., which was one of my anticipated books from this year. And I don't remember anything about it, but I just remember every time I saw about it, I went, ooh, that sounds so good, I want to read that. So that's also potentially. Also potentially, starting a new suspense series. I've got plenty of suspense books on my physical TBR, and I'm only in the middle of like one, technically. So I'd like to like read a new Lynette Easton series I haven't read, like catch up on her books, or a Lynn H. Blackwell, or some kind of suspense trilogy or series. I'm typically always in the middle of those, so I'd like to keep that going because I have so many on my physical TBR. And then what I'm very much excited for is to finish what is currently up to date of the Keeper of the Lost Cities. I can't get this title to save my life. Every time I search it on Google or like used bookstores, I butcher it. Keeper of the Lost Cities. I just last night finished, this is book 6, right? Yeah, book 6. 800 pages long. Why is it that long? I don't know. But I finished that one last night, and I am now waiting for the library to get 7 so I can continue on. Or if my birthday doesn't come soon, because I did ask for a couple books in the series that I don't have, and I'm missing 7 and 8. And then there's the 8.5 that I had already bought. So I've already bought myself books for my birthday. It's fine. And then 9 I'm waiting to see if I can find that used for a cheaper price. But I get why people love this series. I'm not gonna lie, it is addicting. It's not a series I'd recommend for middle grade readers, but I can talk more about that later. My battery's fixing to die. How rude. But yeah, I would like to get books 7, 8, 8.5, and 9 done. And again, those are chunkers of books. Like, is this a book? Is it a brick? Is it a tome? Is it a weapon? Like, who knows? Because it's so big. And this one was unnecessarily big in my opinion. It had a lot of filler, but it was good filler. But it was kind of filler for the storyline. But I see why people love this series. It's fun. I am not emotionally invested in the love triangle like many others are. I don't see the big deal on either team winning, so it's enjoyable though. It's an enjoyable world. Okay, so there is my June see, I can't say it. June TBR. See, I rarely say the word TBR, it feels like. That's probably a lie. I feel like I say it more, but I also feel like I don't say it much when it comes to months because I don't film these kind of videos. But I'm going to go start reading that little devotional. When it's a preteen one, I just try to knock it out within a couple hours. Note down content, thoughts, any concerns, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go work on that. And then I think, actually, I'm going to read a book that's not even on this TBR. Oops. Oops. But I'll talk more about that later. Hello my friends, it is June 2nd and I'm already probably going to deviate from the TBR I just told y'all about. Oops. So today, what have I gotten done? Hi Daisy, who am I talking to? Come here. She's been hiding under the bed taking a nap. That's her napping spot. Where are you going? Don't leave. Before that, I want to show you the plants I've gotten. Plant care has been really hard for me this year. And keeping all my plants alive just in the throes of grief. If you know, you know, it's hard. And I'm trying to do better about that. And I've really learned which plants I really like and which ones can withstand being neglected when life is hard. And for me, that has been Hoyas. So I picked up 2 new Hoyas. From one of my favorite nurseries. They don't typically have a big Hoya selection, but I got this one. I think it's like a Hoya princess or queen. But I think it's a stowaway in another one because like this part doesn't have variegation, this part does, and they're 2 different sections, but I haven't taken it apart yet to see. I'm so sorry, that sounded terrible, take you apart. I'm not going to take you apart, I'm going to diagnose, let's put it that way. So, isn't it pretty? It has a lot of hard water stains that I have to clean, so I'll probably do that here later maybe. Maybe while I watch booktube at some point. I don't know if that's going to be today. And then I also picked up this fun little guy. Is he not just the funniest looking plant? I just think he's so cute. He is a Hoya and I don't know how to pronounce that. Retusa maybe? And he's just hilarious looking. Like I love how he just looks, and because that's how I feel a lot of days, especially today. So I was very excited. I had a birthday coupon from a nursery and I got 30% off of him. And then they also had plumerias, which I love plumerias with every fiber in my being. And so I also got a new plumeria because I have no self-control. Okay, but to the oops, I keep moving in and out. I'm trying to just keep this on manual so it's not focusing because this lens's focusing system is so loud when I record. So I apologize if things go in and out when I'm doing this vlog because I do like how this lens, like, it's a very dreamy, creamy kind of background, so I really like how this lens does, but sorry if it goes in and out of focus. I am going to decide on a book to read. Now, the slight problem is I have so many TBR books, it's ridiculous. And what I'd like to do, though, I'm going to kind of do that try a chapter for a few of these. I've been asked to do that before, but I typically have such a schedule. But you know, today I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm kind of in the mood for historical. Or maybe YA. I don't know. I'm always in the mood for those two, so let's be honest. I really, though, the main deal I want to focus on is, can I get it from my library as an ebook? Because, hi Daisy. Am I just talking to nobody? I swear I'm talking to people. I could even do a suspense, though. The main deal for me, though, is I want to make sure I can get it from my library as an ebook, because I went to a chiropractor today, and he does more than just chiropractic stuff. But I went to him today, and I am bruised. Do you see my bruise? It hurts. Like, my whole arm. He really was working on the scar tissue on my wrist, and I was in near tears. It was so painful. It was terrible. Would not recommend, but hopefully this will help my wrist do better, because I've had issues with my wrist for years, and he could tell that. That is amazing. Like, how they just dig into your fingers. It felt like he had, like, metal chopsticks as fingers. It was terrible. And so I am literally bruised, and I can not really use this arm right now. He said to take it easy for the next couple of days, which is so funny because I have a family photo shoot I have to do on Sunday if the weather cooperates. So that's going to be so much fun. We'll see how that works out. I'll power through it. It's fine. Get those good family pictures done for a sweet family, I know. But I want to read it as an ebook. That's my main thing. So let's look through and see what interests me, I guess. Oh, sorry. Okay, I gotta do this. Oh, why is this so tight? Oh. I feel like a weakling, but that's just because I'm bruised. I have the Blackout Book Club by Amy Lynn Green. I have this one actually already borrowed on my library's app. I do want to read this one. Definitely here at some point. I'd like to try to read it before it's due back to the library, so I have a few days. So let me pull that one out, but I don't think I'll start that one right now. This one might have potential. The Out of the Embers by Amanda Cabot. That first page has me interested. Oh, I had this one on my list. I don't think my library has this one though. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, it's on KU. I think this one's on KU. I'm pretty sure. So that might work out. Ooh! Ooh! This sounds interesting. Okay, so this is Journey's End by Renee Ryan. Y'all will see me haul this in a video that I don't remember. It smells a little perfumey. I'm sorry. I keep saying and like and all of those words that I try not to use and that I typically try to edit out. I am so exhausted right now, so I really want like either a really suspenseful book or a book that's really going to keep my attention. And I have really high hopes for this series, and this back cover sounds like, now I see why I bought this, besides the fact that it was really cheap on a internet thing. But having growing up on the mean streets of 19th century London, Caroline St. James is used to fighting to survive. So when her beloved mother, abandoned and ignored by her wealthy family, suddenly dies, the scrappy 22-year-old devises a plan to right this terrible wrong. With nothing to lose, she sails to New York to find the man who turned a cold shoulder, I can't say that word in my life, to her mother's suffering, Caroline's grandfather. To settle the family score, Caroline infiltrates her grandfather's privileged world, hoping to sabotage his business from the inside. But as she sets her plot into motion, she meets, of course, Jackson Montgomery, a virtuous man who is struggling to recover from a family scandal of his own. As their friendship grows and Caroline begins to piece together the motives that led to her family to turn its back, she's forced to make a decision. Should she risk everything in the name of justice, or can she look to the future and let love and forgiveness guide her instead? That sounds really good, actually. This has me very much intrigued. I'm trying to think, though. This is one I've only had like a couple Goodreads friends at it, which with how many Goodreads friends I have, it's kind of shocking that not too many have talked about it. I'm wondering though if it's just clean though and not Christian. Ooh, this back cover, I might go with this one, you know. That's a very high potential. Let me stick this one up there though. Let's see, what else do we have? I was thinking of a suspense. I haven't finished this series yet, the Blue Justice series, and I did check this one out from the library as an ebook as well, so that's a possibility. But you know, this has me very intrigued. I'm not really in the mood for a contemporary romance. I want some, oh, tissues. Why are there tissues here? I'm sorry, was that weird to have in this? Oh, these are because of Daisy. I've been trying to clean her ears, which she hates with a passion. And so I keep sticking them up there so I can grab them when she's unaware. That's why they're there. Sorry for that random information. This is all Regency and then kind of dual time periods. I'm not really feeling that. This is fantasy. Do you see how I'm having to double stack these though, y'all? I've never had my books double stacked before. That's driving me a little bit crazy. So, you know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm pretty sure it's on KU, so we'll go with that. Let me stick these back up here. Oh, I'm so sore. Oh, I'm so sore. Okay, let's find my phone and make sure this is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to return a book. Oh, I was going to read The Healer of the Brigade by Michaela Bush, because that is on my TBR, but this one's technically on my TBR too. So, hey, if I read this one, I'm doing good. Doing good. Oh, I did finish the 100-Day Devotional for Girls by Jean Fisher. Cute little devotional. Very, very cute. It's for ages 8 to 12. Pleasant little read. I wouldn't personally call it my very favorite devotional, but you know, for a very first devotional or maybe a second devotional for girls in that age, especially those that maybe weren't raised in a Christian household, I think it was well done for that because it recaps a lot of different events in the Bible, and I have a couple notes on that, but overall it was pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. I try to always stay on top of new girl, either young girl or teen girl, young adult women. I try to always stay on top of those kinds of devotionals because there's so many of them, and it is hard to review those just because of, you know, they're devotionals, but I think they're important to make people aware of. So, yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. So, we're off to a good start, y'all. Now, let's see. I'm pretty sure this is on KU. The third book, though, has a, not missing, secret identity trope. It's got that, and that was the one I was like, ooh, that sounds great. But this really sounds good. I'm excited about this one. And, yes, it is on KU. And it also has it as an audiobook. Well, okay. Cool. So, okay, I'm going to start reading this one as an ebook. Sorry, I'm out of focus. I'm going to start reading this one as an ebook. I really like The Purple Spine, so I hope I like this book. I have really high hopes for it. We'll see, but let's go ahead and get started. Oh, they can't see you. Say hi, Daisy. Why are you hot? Why are you hot? Okay, so I just rambled about this book for like 7-10 minutes, and I feel like I'm not doing a very good job explaining my feelings on it. I should have talked about it last night, but I was so tired. I was so tired. Like, after I got ready for bed, brushed my teeth, typed up my thoughts on this book, I could barely keep my eyes open. I was so tired. So I'm trying to do it now, but it's already, like, the details already aren't fresh, and I feel bad about that. So I ended up giving this one, I think I'm going to end up giving it a 2. I was debating a 2.5, but once I look back through the content when I type up the review later today, because I read it as a Kindle, remember? So it's probably going to be a 2 because the sexual tension was just really high, and I'm really disappointed because this plot has like all the makings of something I would love. And plot-wise, yes. Character-wise, I can't say I disliked them, but what was interesting is I liked her well enough. She was a little too bent on getting revenge on her grandfather who kicked her mother out, kind of thing, or that's what she thinks. And so we have that for like the first 100 pages, and then she realizes there's more to the story, and she realizes that, yeah, there's just more to the story of what she's been told, what's happened, there's something going on. So we have a slight mystery, but the mystery was honestly disappointing because you have 2 possible suspects, so it's a 50-50 shot. Like, it wasn't that exciting to me, unfortunately. I'm like, it's one of the 2. That's not really anything to like deduct or anything. And then with the main guy, okay, here's the thing. In his point of view, I thought he was fine, but in her point of view, or maybe how she saw him, I don't know. It kind of gave off that stalking his prey vibe, like the cat versus mouse, you know? But the fact is they were both cats because they both were so smart. That was one thing. It's like they were equal in their wit and sharpness. Like they were very smart. So that was entertaining to see. It kind of felt like I was watching a chess game or something. If I watched those, I do not. But it had that kind of feeling of they are both playing a game, but they're each aware the other is playing a game and they know what their game is. That kind of thing. It was very interesting. But in her point of view, he just came across kind of that aggressive, masculine, almost dangerous. Like there were certain parts that I was just like, this was oddly written kind of thing. Like it was just like, it was a little uncomfortable at times. And maybe that's because I don't find that personality attractive. I mean, I do think they were good together. The main problem though with this book I had was the romantic parts, and that's really because of the sexual tension. Because for the first few pages, once they meet, they're like locking eyes, can't stop thinking of the other, and then they go their separate ways. 2 weeks later, same thing happens, and then it's revealed that she is connected to this family that his family's business is connected with, and so we have that kind of thing, and he's very suspicious of her. And I mean, I don't blame him, but he was unnecessarily suspective, and just, I don't know. He was fine in his point of view, mostly, but when she viewed him, it felt like almost a different guy, and I thought that was interesting, but it wasn't done. It wasn't in a good way interesting, in my opinion. Then once like the reveal happens and it's like said who she is, that's then when it takes into that enemies to lovers for a bit, and I'm just not a fan of that trope. I know that's an unpopular opinion. If you like that trope, please tell me why. Can you tell me why? Do you know why? Because I've never gotten many like straight answers on that. I think I personally struggle with that trope because, and this book really highlighted it, because they are in denial of their feelings. What's that one classic meme that denial isn't just a river in Egypt? Yeah, it's these two for their feelings. Because I was just so, I want the cute giggly, I want y'all like, I want all the cute happy falling in love moments, but you two are just so goal driven in a almost unhealthy, I'll say unhealthy way, because she was bent on revenge and he wanted to make his family name better because his father committed a scandal, and it was, yeah. So, I mean, I don't blame them for their goals. And I definitely got into their emotions and perspectives, especially her. But when you add in the enemies to lovers, it just gives so much sexual tension. And in his regard, he was, I feel like, in my opinion, getting way too much in her personal space. And that's just not, like, no, I respect my bubble. Like, please do not get in my space. Personally, I don't find that romantic. So he kept getting into her space, and she's like getting flustered because, hello, handsome man that's 2 inches away from her nose kind of thing. But I don't find that romantic. So I think that was my main struggle, was the sexual tension because of the enemies to lovers trope, which I did not know this book was going to be. I'm really disappointed. I really like this book. I'm curious. The next book is about her cousin who we meet in this book, and it looks like the third book, which I was really looking forward to, is not because it's the hidden identity heiress trope, and I love that. But unless it's under a different name that is not the that's not who I thought it was going to be. Like, I don't recognize that name at all. So, I mean, unless we have a hidden identity in this book, I hope that's the case, because there was another character, Sally, in here that I really liked. I thought she was great. And I'm like, she has a story to be told. So maybe she's at book 3 and it's under a different name. I don't know. I do want to continue the rest of the series, but I am a little disappointed that the romance was just so much for my taste. It was a lot. But that's the enemies to lovers sexual tension. So if you like that trope, you might not be bothered by it as much, but I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm not sure what I'll read later. I definitely want to try to read a book later, but I've at least knocked 2 books so far off of my TBR. Yay! Hi my friends, it's been a minute since I've checked in. It's been a busy few days. Let's see, I already had updated y'all that I finished Journeys In, and then Sunday was the next day, and we had a photo session. I say we because my mom is my assistant when I do photography. We had a family session, and the weather worked out great. It turned out great. I have almost 700 pictures to go through. I've gotten it down to under 300 now, but so I'm still working on that, and that's what I worked on basically all of yesterday. Is I've read book 7 of Keeper of the Lost Cities series, which book 7 is Flashback, and then that was like my reward, like go through some pictures, read a bit. Go through some pictures, read a bit. But while I was going through pictures, I was watching different booktube videos because my watch later list is insane. So that was basically all I did yesterday. Was I started the Flashback. I started that one Sunday night after the photo session, and then I finished it last night. And I've been working on their pictures, trying to get those done and edited so I can give them back to them. And yeah, that's all I've really been doing. Like I said, I finished Flashback. That is book 7 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. I struggle with that series title so much. You know, I see why so many people love that series. I really truly do, because it's different, it's fun. It's one of the few fantasy series that I'm honestly in awe of how the author has come up with so much. Like, I don't typically feel that way with fantasy books, at least the ones I typically read. But with that series, I really see so much creativity, so it's really fun. Definitely not what I would recommend for middle grade readers, though, especially now in the later books. They're like 15, 16, and I assume the last book they'll be about 17. So it's not one I recommend for middle grade readers, because while it starts when the main girl, Sophie, is like 11, 12, 13, something like that, it's quickly moving on. Especially if you start them now, then you're going to binge them when they're older. So the middle grade age that it's recommended for is 8 to 12, and I don't agree with that because of that. But then also there's a lot of very like dangerous near-death situations. Like the main girl, Sophie, let's see, this is book 7. How many times has she nearly died? Probably about 7. At least 5. At least 5, I would say. She's had a lot of very close experiences. And this one, I would probably say so far is my least favorite of the series. Mainly because, okay, number 1, it's almost 900 pages. Why does a book need to be almost 900 pages long? I don't know. Like, why? Why? So, the first part, though, they're attacked by the villainous group, if you will. And the main girl, Sophie, who I really like Sophie, I have to say. She has not gotten on my nerves once. Daisy says hello. I really like Sophie a lot. Now, the 2 contenders for the love triangle, Keith and Fitz. The amount of times I want to add an R into that. Fritz. His name is Fritz. No. Isn't that German? Is that German? I don't know. But I don't really have an opinion on those 2. Overall, I really don't care who she ends up with, as long as they both get better character development. Because those boys need to work on things. Sophie's great, though. Love her. And she gets majorly hurt, though, towards the beginning of this book. So there's a lot of healing that has to happen, and that takes about half of the book. And so this book did feel a little unnecessarily long. So I would still say my favorite one was probably Nightfall thus far. I really liked Nightfall. That was book 6. I really did like that one, just because we have all the friendness and all the planning, and the friend groups getting like better and stronger, and I really like that aspect. Even though that was a long book too. These are big books. So speaking of big books, I just have a little mini book haul for us. I thought that'd be kind of fun to do. So I had bought this one off of Pango Books because I had sold some books, and then Yeah, I bought it. So book 8.5, and I made the mistake. My eyes betrayed me, and I read the back cover, and I haven't read book 8 yet, so now I kind of know something that's going to happen in book 8. So at least I'm mentally prepared for it. You know what? I don't think I teared up at all in number 7. Oh, I need to note that in my review, because I have cried in almost every... No, I have cried. Not almost. I have cried in every single prior book, but I didn't cry in number 7 at all. Well, cool. It broke the streak of me crying. There was just... That's the unexpected thing about the Secret Keeper series. Secret Keeper. See, I can't... Secret Keeper. Trenton Lee Stewart. My brain cannot handle Keeper of the Lost Cities. I don't know if I will ever get that right, y'all. Really. I don't know. But they've had so many moments that, like, I laugh out loud, but then also I'm, like, wiping tears from my eyes. And it's typically because of Sophie and her families. And there's moments like that, especially towards the beginning, that I was sucking in my tears. Like, I have become very good at getting my tears to go back into my eyes. Like, moisturize my eyes, go do something else kind of thing. So, I didn't cry at all at number 7. That's a little sad that I didn't cry, but there wasn't that many, like, overly emotional parts. Yeah, there wasn't really, so maybe that's why. But anyway, I bought this one because I found it for a good price on Pango. So... I can't read it yet, as much as I want to. But I think, because it has a map in the front of the world, and I think that's really neat, so I'm really looking forward to looking at that more. And then, as an early birthday present, I had a couple books on my birthday list. Oh, I had a few on my birthday list. The thing is with my mom, is how she does this with my sister and I's birthday. How we do it is, like, my sister's in May, I'm in June, but, like, if there's anything, like, we always plan to just buy ourselves. So, like, in my case, it's typically books. My mom she just knows. Somehow she knows, and she just walks in at that moment, and she goes, why are you buying that? I could buy that. And then she rattles off her card number. It's precious. It's very sweet. She's very good at doing that. So she caught me earlier this month, so I think there's going to be more than a few books on my Christmas list because she caught me buying books and gave me her card number. So that's just... My parents are awesome. But as an early birthday present... A Royal Quest by Melody Carlson. I am really excited about this one. This is book 1 in the Princess Wars. And I remember when she had indie released this, and then I never bought a copy, and I meant to as an ebook only, but I never did because it was full price. It wasn't on KU, so I never bought it. But then it disappeared off the face of the earth, and it apparently was published with White Crown. So my mom gave this one to me early though because the corner is bent and, like, some of the pages, like, it got caught in the Amazon mailer. So it's, yeah. So she's like, is that okay? You decide. If you want to send it back, let me know, that kind of thing, because she knows I'm so particular on my books. But I think this will be fine. It's not really noticeable. It's not really noticeable though, so I'm going with it. I probably won't get to this one this month. Maybe I will. I don't know. It's pretty short. It's pretty short. It's like, what, less than 200. So, you know, I could knock it out. I don't know when, but I'm really excited about it. I just know it's about 2 twins, and they've kind of had to do the battle for the throne kind of thing. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Royalty. It's fun. And then for review, I received this big, thick book in the mail, and that's The Lost King's Daughter by A.D. German. Now, this is technically above the page limit that I typically prefer, but because it is geared for Christian YA fans and it has the royalty aspect, I am going to give it a try. And honestly, just the title alone, the cover, has me very intrigued. Thank you so much to the author for sending this to me for review. I plan to read it. It probably won't happen this month though. It probably will be within the next couple of months. I've got to... There's a system to the reviewing process, trust me, y'all. So, yeah, we'll get to this one. But isn't it pretty? I hope I like it. She's holding something. I can't tell. You'll see. I don't know what she's holding. I'm curious. It almost looks like a necklace. I'm intrigued. But just the title alone, the font, I love it. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that one. So there's our little book. There's our mini little book haul for this. Can we just look how thick this book is? I think this one's not even 800 pages. Yeah, it's like 750. This series is ridiculously huge. It's huge. It's just huge. But I see why it's huge, and I see why so many people love it. It's fun. It's fun. I'll admit, it's fun. The last book, yeah, that wasn't my favorite so far, number 7. But that's all I have for y'all today. I am, though, what's the plan for today? I need to continue to edit the Sweet Family's photos. Get those continuing to go through. And then the Blackout Book Club by Amy Lynn Green I own physically, but I also have it as a library loan, and it's going to expire in a couple days. So I might start reading that one today. I really should read it. I feel bad when I check out a book and it's doing one day. Okay, maybe we might have to skip that one. Alright, yeah, let me just go ahead and return that early. Never mind. That's been moved off. I don't know if I'll get that before the month is up, but I would like to finally read that one. So I think I'm going to work on a different book, but I'm not sure what. I know Fairest of Heart by Karen Whittemire is releasing today, and I'd like to review that one coming up here on Friday, but I am nervous about reading that one because I've been hearing different things on the content level, which makes me nervous. Makes me nervous because, like, I review for 9 to 19, and you know it's not going to fit for the younger ones. But based on some of the content I've been hearing, I'm a little concerned about it even for the older age range of BFCG. So we'll see if I start that one today. I'll keep y'all updated. Elsewise, I do kind of want to read a historical, so that one would work. That would fit the bill, and I was super excited about that book, but I'm also very nervous because I know we see, like, it's a Snow White retelling, but set in, like, early 1900s, 1800s, something like that, in Texas. So I've been very excited about that book, but because of the Snow White, we also get the villainess, like the evil queen's kind of perspective, and from what I've heard, we have our main girl being very much that inner beauty, very, you know, Snow White-esque, and then we've got the villainous lady, the evil queen, if you will, that uses her outward appearance to seduce men. And I've heard different things about that, and I'm not looking forward to that element. So I don't know, I'm torn on if I'm going to read that one or not. The author has confirmed the rest of the series will not have any of the Fade to Black stuff, but I have heard that this book does because of the villainous character. So I'm a little less than thrilled. I don't know, we'll see if I even read it. I'm at the point where I think I might not read it just because it's not going to get a good rating because of the more seducing content. So, I don't know. I'm not sure elsewise what I'll read. I do have Code of Valor from the library. I do have it physically. I could try to start finishing up that Lynette Easton series because I read book 1 and 2 and I never read 3 or 4. But I gotta be honest, with 3 and 4 having guys on the cover, I'm just less likely to read them. I'm sorry. I just feel awkward holding up that book. I feel awkward with that cover. Sorry. But anyway, I don't know what I'm going to read, but I do need to work on editing those pictures, and while I do that, I will watch booktube, and it will be great. So that's my main goal for today. Oh, and edit my video. I need to start editing this video, and then also start for Friday's video. It is Tuesday. I need to get on that. I have a recent reads to post. So, yes, that's what we're doing, and I'll see y'all in a bit. Daisy says hi and bye. don't remember the last time I checked in with y'all. I am failing at doing a reading vlog. I don't think I have filmed at all me reading anything. I just keep giving y'all random clips and then updating y'all on what I've read. I need to do better on that. Sorry. But I do have reading updates for y'all. It is Friday, June 9th, and I've read, what was the book called? Prairie, Homestead by Arletta Richardson. It's book 3 in the Orphan Train series. I read that one last night for review today because my library loan came through and I wanted to, you know, get on with it because my library loans are starting to stress me out in so many ways. But I read that one, and you know, it's a series so far. I was really nervous going into this book because, well, I guess I should explain the premise. The premise of this series is about a young boy, I think he's about 9 or 10, and it's set in the early 1900s, and his mother has recently passed away. The father is not great. He's not in the picture, and he's the middle of like 8 or 9 siblings, and because of their mother passing away, the older siblings send him and the younger 3 to a Christian children's home, and then they get put on the orphan train with their family's permission. And then now this 3rd book is about their new family. And I had a lot of concerns, and I think it's kind of hard for me to read this series because I know it's a part of history, but it's just a hard part of history, especially with like all the prejudice comments they face and just all of those kind of things. It's just really hard for me to read about. Being in like the adoption world for as long as I've been and like an advocate for it, it's really hard to see things not being handled properly or in a healthy way for the children's sake. So it's one of those series, like, I can see why people would like it because there are good lessons and like morals and all that, but I can also see why some people wouldn't like it, and I do think it could be triggering for adoptees. So, you know, it's just a middle grade series that I'm reading to review. It's not bad, but it's not one that I personally would buy, and I probably wouldn't. It would depend on the kids. Like, for my own future kids one day, I don't know about that. So, that was that. I started and finished that one last night, and then as soon as I got done with it, I tapped up a review, got that all set up, ready to go, and then happiness happened, and where was I going with this? I received a notification that book 8 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series, Legacy, was available. And so I started that one last night. I've been reading it on and off today. And how far am I? It's about 800 pages. The series is so big, it's ridiculous. But I am right under page 400, so I am exactly 50% through. I'm enjoying it. You know, I understand why this series is kind of addictive. It really is. And in this book, we're really trying to get the answers to the questions I've been wondering about since the very first book. And yes, it took 800. It didn't take 800 pages. It took a gazillion more pages than that because each book is like an average of what, 600-700 pages. It's insanity. So we're finally getting those answers. It is entering more into a love triangle nonsense, and it's so funny because when I first started this series, and I've made a grave error. I told myself I was going to start the first book when the last book releases. The last book is releasing in November of 2023, so I've got some months to wait for it. It will be here before I know it, I'm sure. But I've made an error. I started them. I've been binging the series as they've been available through my library, and I've made a mistake. I can already tell I'm going to be stressed waiting for that last book. I can already tell. But it's a really entertaining series. It's about a girl who finds out that she's an elf, but it's not like, that sounds really dorky, but because it's not like the elves we think of, like Lord of the Ring elves or Santa elves. It's not like that. It's very different, and everybody has different special abilities, and in her case, it can do the telepathy, and it's just very fascinating. And I have to admit, I really like the world this author has built. Like, there's quite a few fantasy books where I read them and I'm like, wow, this author's really creative. It's impressive. This author, Shannon Messenger, completely creative. Like, this is so creative. I'm like, how do you think of this stuff? Like, I don't know. If I ever wrote a book, I've always said it would be like contemporary YA. I write what I know kind of thing. Fantasy stuff, it's like, wow, the creativity and imagination you have to have, especially with this author. This series is very inventive, so it's fun. It's not a series I recommend for middle grade readers, though, for multiple reasons, which I think I've already discussed in this video. If I haven't, I'll link my reviews where I discuss it. But I can get why people enjoy this series, and I feel like I just went on a bunny trail and I was supposed to be mentioning something important. Oh, it's entering in more in the love triangle stuff. And when I first started this series, I'm so impressed I remembered where I was back. I went backwards and remembered my thoughts. So that does not happen often, y'all. So when I first started this, we're introduced to the two boys, Fitz and Keith. And when I posted on my Goodreads status update, that I'm like, who am I supposed to dislike? Because I know everybody like really likes one guy, doesn't like the other guy. And apparently that doesn't really become... Oh, sorry, my dad called. Okay, so where was I? Yes, so there's a love triangle in this series. And it wasn't really apparent, I feel like, until book 7. I'm going to go with book 7. That's where it really, like, kicks up. And I have been really, like, I don't really care. They both of the boys need to, like, show special, like Keith, he's funny. I will give y'all that, and I see why everyone loves him. But I need him to, like, quit hiding his feelings and, like, making light of everything he's gone through and they've gone through. And, like, I also need... That was a spoiler. Sorry, that was a spoiler. I'm gonna have to cut that last part in an awkward place. But, like, there's things with him that I'm like, I like him, I have to say. He's growing on me. I need less pranks, though, personally, because I think Sophie's awesome. I think she's great. In this 8th book, where I'm currently at, I'm halfway through, she's annoying me just a little bit, which is the very first bit I've had for her at all, which is fascinating. Like, I've been reading about this girl and her point of view for, like, I don't know, 5,000 pages? Probably not 5,000 pages. Well, no, it's probably not been 5,000 pages, but it's kind of felt like that because these books are huge. And when I read on my phone on the Kindle app, I do, instead of pages, I do the scroll because I just love that feature. And I also do it on the green, which on camera does not look green, actually. It's funny, though, because after I've stared at it for a few minutes, the green background goes away. It's really, I don't get it. There's some science, I'm sure, but that's easier on my eyes, so I go with that one. Any noodle doodle. With Fitz, I liked him at the beginning, but then he had certain moments where, like, he couldn't get his emotions or his anger out of control, and he took it out on her, and that did not endear him to me. And he's currently, like, I get why people in this book specifically were saying, go away, Fitz. I get it. I do get it, but and honestly, I think what really pushed me more over to Keith's side, and again, it's not like it's a dramatic, like, I am 99% on Keith's side. It's more like 55 and 45, 55 being Keith. And I don't know, there's just certain things that I'm just like, I don't know, but the book 7 had a little bonus scene that was in Keith's point of view, and that was just painful to read. I'm not gonna, that was painful. If you've read the series, you know. I get why the series is popular. I hope the 10th book meets everyone's expectations. Well, I hope it meets my expectations, let's put it that way. Sorry. If you're watching my videos, I assume we have very similar opinions. On the love triangle, I really don't care who she ends up with either way currently. I will feel bad for whoever does not get her, but in all honesty, I kind of would be I would love it if it would be an open ending. There's my thing. That would be really neat. I don't know. I might change my mind by the time I read like 8.5 and 9. I might change my mind on that, but we'll see. Anyway, I also wanted to show I've got more books in the mail. Are we shocked? No. I did also open a couple birthday books from my parents early because we needed to check the condition of them because they were used, and most of them were former library books that were in terrible condition, but Abe Books and Discover Books were saying they were very good, and that's a lie. So I'm sending those back for a refund, and I'll find them elsewhere. So like those were disappointing. That was that. It was really just the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. Why can't I say that title? I don't know. My brain always wants to put a secret in there, and then my brain goes Trenton Lee Stewart, and that's not how it works. But anyway, I bought a few other books that, like, with my own money that I can show y'all. my parents are like, okay, you've seen these books. You don't get them yet. You gotta wait for your birthday. That's how it always is. Like, you can have this little thing early, but everything else has to wait for your birthday, and that's fine. So I found these were on a Christian fiction selling Facebook group. So I got Digging Up Clues by Secrets of Mary's Bookshop. It's part of that series. I am so like what today, y'all. By Kelly Ann Riley. This is obviously one of the books in the Secrets of the Mary's Bookshop series. I'm missing 2 in this series, and this is one of them. The other one actually came through on paperback swap, so I'm waiting for that to come. And then that seller also had a couple other books I was just randomly interested in. Elizabeth Gale and the Secret Box by Hilda Style. This is like, I have barely heard anyone talk about this one. I think it's book 2 in a series. I just thought I would try it, you know. I know these are harder to find nowadays, but it was like $2. I thought I would try it. And then she also had Courtney and Mr. Emerson by Melody Carlson. It's in basically brand new condition. Yeah, I was impressed. $4. This is, I'm trying to remember, it's contemporary romance, but I think they're older. Yeah, confirmed bachelor, newly retired English teacher. I don't know, it just sounds kind of just like a different kind of read, and I've read a lot of her books, but I haven't read this one, so I thought I would give it a try. So there is that little book haul. And then I don't think anybody will really care about this. Well, some of y'all might, actually. I placed an order on Botanical Interests, which is a seed company that I adore, and look how cute their packaging is. Like, look how, it's not even cute, it's pretty. Like, And if you've never, you might not recognize them, but hang on, let me show you a seed packet, and then you will probably recognize them if you've ever paid attention to, let's see, which one do I want to show? I bought quite a few seeds, but a lot of these are gifts, so I can't show y'all. I'll show you my favorite. The tomato cherry pole organic sweetie tomatoes. I have 9. Aren't these illustrations just beautiful? They're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Even their salad looks appealing. Like, I got free seeds, and it's salad seeds. My mom was very excited about that. And it's just, and like they have this right here, and it's so pretty. Like, oh, the aesthetics of their stuff is just so nice. Their website's lovely, and it's just great. But these, I planted these back last fall, and I hadn't really taken care of them. Like, I kept them from freezing, so like I'd bring them into the garage when we had our few freezing nights. Oh no, my card's almost full. I'll come back with my story. Okay, I don't think that's the same angle, but we're just gonna go with it. And so I planted, I didn't realize, the whole packet and one big pot, and they basically all germinated and started growing. And so earlier this spring, I separated them out into their own pots. They did excellent. I was so incredibly proud. I don't know what Daisy's barking at. But anyway, long story short, I've got 19 beautiful, gorgeous tomato plants. Some of them are taller than me. It's great, which, I mean, that's not really a feat, to be honest. I'm barely 5'3", or 162 centimeters, I think is that. I don't know. But I have a bunch of them, and so far, for the last 2 months, I've been keeping a tally. I have a sticky note on our back door with a pin next to it, because I want to keep track of how many tomatoes. And then the last two and a half months, we've had 200 cherry tomatoes. I'm very proud of myself. This is my first time growing vegetables. Like, with dirt, we've always done, well, not always, but we've done the tower garden, the hydroponic tower garden that's like soilless, dirt-free. We've been doing that for quite a few years, and it's fun, but I was really excited to do this, and they've all been doing well, so I got more of those. What else can I talk about? Let's see, that's a gift. I have quite a few of these that are gifts. Wheatgrass. I love their illustrations. They're just so pretty. Another type of cherry tomatoes, but these are the blend of red and yellow, and they're a pear shape. So cool. And this one's a new one I'm super excited for. It's the chocolate cherry tomatoes. I've never even had these, but they were having such a good sale, y'all. Like, I literally could have bought $150 worth of seeds, and I nearly did. But my mom talked me out of it, so I only spent like $60, so that's not too bad, because we'll use a bunch of these. Oh, and broccolini. I'm super excited about that. We're going to do this one in the tower garden. Indigo rose pole tomatoes. Oh, they did them in a different kind of packet. They were online exclusive, so like that. Cool. I'm so excited about my tomatoes. Like, I've had such great success with those that I'm just like, yeah, I want to try like everything now. That's it. I also got sunflower seeds. Do I have a place to grow these? No. But they were $1, like 61 a packet. How am I supposed to say no? And yes, they are technically packaged for 2023, so like kind of like that's their best date that you should use them. But seeds don't expire. Their germination rate just lowers every year they aren't used, and it's not by a dramatic difference. So I thought I would just go ahead and stock up on some random ones because these were a great deal, and just this box is pretty. Lots of lettuce, mung bean, romaine, more salad bowl blends, and nasturtium. I love nasturtiums. They are one of my all-time favorites. They are actually edible. The flowers are edible and the leaves are edible as well. This one's not organic though, so I won't be eating that one. It's also a really great pest deterrent though. So that's my little gardening haul. I have a lot more that I'd love to show you, but they're gifts, so I can't show y'all just in case somebody might be watching this. But my cute little box, this feels like a treasure box. I'm not gonna lie, like a treasure chest, and just, oh, so cute. But okay, that's my update for today. I'm going to finish The Keeper of the Lost Cities. If I say it enough times, maybe I'll actually get it stuck in my head. I'm going to finish book 8. I need to work on editing this vlog and a few other BFCG things, and also work on the family session that I took those pictures of. So yeah, I will see y'all when I have something to update y'all about. It is me, the girl who's been terrible at updating y'all with this reading vlog. Here's the thing, if you don't vlog, you might not know, or like try to do like, you know, reels or TikToks or whatever. But when you try to film you going around your daily day, like kind of normal stuff, everything takes 3 times as long. And I honestly wanted to spend that extra time reading more, so I'm sorry I didn't really give y'all peeks into what this week was. It was a busy week. It was just a busy week. My hair's a mess, but we're gonna ignore that because we have books to talk about. I think I'm gonna end this reading vlog with this clip and then pick up with like the second week of June, because it is now Saturday, June 10th. It is 9 o'clock, and so last time I talked to y'all, I was in the middle of The Keeper of the Lost Secret. One day I'm going to get that title right. I don't know when that day is going to be. And it's definitely not going to be when I'm binge reading all of them. But Keeper of the Lost Cities, book 8. That was Legacy. I was in the middle of that one. Finished that one last night. Oh, actually, no. I finished that one today, didn't I? Yes, I finished that one. I woke up early and finished it because that's the only good reason to wake up early, right? To finish a book. So I finished that one and quickly picked up the 8.5, and this was different. I have my bookmarks in here, but that's just because I want to mark those on the Kindle edition, which my library should be getting today but have not given to me, so it'll probably come through tomorrow. It's interesting though, because Sophie has not bothered me at all in any of these prior books, but in 8 and in 8.5 she frustrated me a little. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little annoyed with her, and I think that's just because of the whole boy stuff. And in this one she made an interesting decision at the end, because here's the thing with this one is, let's see, where does the novella start? It doesn't, so all of this is kind of recapping stuff, so that's pages 1 through 500 is all kind of recappy stuff and like illustrations, which were cool to see. I'm gonna be honest, I don't visualize some of these scenes like that or these characters like that, but there are that kind of stuff, so that's neat. And then the last 250 pages is a novella that takes place right in between books 8 and 9. Thankfully, I don't have to wait for book 9. My library already has it. I've already borrowed it. Yay. Which is good because cliffhanger. Again. But I've made a grave error. I'm now realizing, I realized this at book 3 in all honesty, that I was going to start this series when the last book releases, so I wouldn't have to wait, but you see how well that worked out. It is June. The final book comes out in November. Thankfully, it's the beginning of the November, but still. Grr. And like, I have so many things I want to say, but I can't really say because there's spoilers for the first part of the series. Because a lot of things are revealed, and I have to say this, the first 500 pages kind of recapped in different ways and like gave you more about the world and that kind of thing. Which I didn't really need, because I've just gotten through reading all these, but like it's got like her file and like all about her, and then the what was it, the medical records for her and all the time she's nearly died and gone into the what is it, the medical center, the healing center at the school, and like that kind of thing. It's a long list, so it was neat to see all that, but at the same time it's like I was just there. I don't really need to, so I read all those parts very quickly, to say the least. But I did read them in order, so I feel like I deserve some kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, not necessarily like wow. Actually, yeah, it could be wow or wow. Like, why would you wait? Like, you wanted to read this part, Lindsay, but you read all of this part first. I did it in order. I did it in order. That, honestly, that could have been a foolish decision, because I could have... No, I'm kind of glad I read it this way, I'm okay with that. But anyway, I have finished that one. I'm going to start book 9 probably in a couple days, because I need to work on other books. This series is just taking over my attention, and I think that's why I haven't been doing well vlogging, so I apologize for that. But literally today's agenda was take an Instagram picture, eat waffles, read, and now I'm going to work on my client's photo session and see if I can knock that out. But literally that's all I got. That's all I did today. That's all I'm going to do today, and it was lovely. Hence the mess of my hair, but it's fine. Because I read, let's see, I think I had about 200 pages left when I woke up in Legacy book 8, and then I read 764 pages today. Is that right? That sounds right. Oh no, it's a little less in the hardback. Well, that's weird. Anyway, 740 something pages plus 200. My eyes are tired, but that's okay. It was really kind of funny reading this as a hardback, and that's only because my library loan didn't come in. I kept pushing it out because I wasn't going to be selfish and, hang on to it. Though I have done that before with other books, and I feel guilty about doing that, so I wasn't going to do it with this book. But it didn't come in time. And by in time, I mean when I was ready to start it, as soon as I finished book 8. So I thankfully had this copy, so... I read it physically, which was really odd kind of... I haven't read any of these books physically. I've read them all as digital library loans. So it was kind of fun. But it's a really big book, and it's really heavy. And yes, I kept the dust jacket on the entire time. I am that person. It's interesting that it's blue, though. I wish it would have been like this purpley color, but that's neither here nor there. I'm rambling. That is all I think I'm going to do for this video. I'm going to start off a new week with this reading vlog and see if I can do better giving y'all maybe something more exciting. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm talking about books. Nothing unusual there. I'm sorry if this wasn't very entertaining. I mean, if you enjoy this series, maybe you would find this video entertaining. I see why, like I keep saying, I see why it has such a following. I see why it's addictive. It kind of really is. But it also makes it, because it's technically aimed for middle grade readers, which I do not agree with. But because of that, it's a very easy world to get into, and even for me that does not typically like a lot of fantasy elements, it's really easy to follow along and see what's happening. So I'm curious to see how this series will continue. Book 9 I will be starting very soon. Not tonight, probably. Probably not tonight. I'm kind of worn out. I think I need to pause, have some space in between the books, read maybe something else for review, and then I will get back into it. And then I have to wait till November. That's brutal. That's just mean. And this author does mean cliffhangers. Like, I still think, was it the end of book 4, the number 5? Or was it 5 to 6? I don't remember. I'll put whatever it was here, because that one was hard. I was not happy about that cliffhanger. All the other ones have been pretty manageable, but I would like to know the answers if I can have the answers kind of thing. So I feel like book 9 to 10's cliffhanger is gonna be bad. I have to mentally prepare myself for that. But anyway, I know I didn't really do much in this reading vlog except read. I didn't really show y'all many other things. I gave y'all Rose intermissions, right? So maybe that was entertaining. I don't know, what do you like to see in reading vlogs? Do you like seeing clips of me reading or other things I'm doing? Do you want to see food? Like, what do you like to see in reading vlogs? I watch reading vlogs, but honestly I can't say that I've ever noticed like that I really like one thing or the other. So if you know that you like one thing over the other or different little things, let me know. Because I honestly don't think I could even say, like, when I watch other booktube friends videos, what I like more. Like different elements. I don't know. Let me know y'all's thoughts, and I will see y'all next time. I think I'm going to have this as like a bonus video for the month of June if I can get it edited fast. We'll see. And then I'll work on my other videos and all that kind of stuff. So yes, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the whole reading vlog. What do you like to see? If you've read this series, does book 9 have a cliffhanger? Actually, no, you don't have to answer that because I'm already going to know by the time this video is posted. I'm already going to know. And it's going to be probably painful, but that's fine. I will see y'all next time though. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of mess of a reading vlog. The lighting is terrible right now. My hair is a mess. We're going to keep just going with it and sign off, but I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I am Lindsay from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where there is a new review every Monday and Friday. I try to post a new video on this channel every other Friday, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok and Goodreads and all those fun things, and I would love to see y'all here, there, and everywhere. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see y'all later.